Hey everybody, we've got spoilers for Tussilago today, so I'm very excited. We're going to be watching the video that DH Games released. Going to be going over her skills, her passives, her actives, and giving my thoughts on them. Before I get into that, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I'm really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. But let's go ahead and check out that video. Okay, so let's see what DH Games is cooking up with Tussilago.
Whispers of Light has foreseen the decline of the Asian Guardian Terry.
Wait, what? Did you guys hear that?
Whispers of Light has foreseen the decline of the Asian Guardian Terry.
I think DH Games is using like a bot to just read text. DH Games, if you need somebody to read text, please reach out to me. If this is a human, I apologize. I'm not making fun of you, but what was that? How am I supposed to get hyped now?
Hence, a mechanical girl who inherited the gardener's power of light came into being.
Okay, she's got the power of Tussilago. Here we go.
Why don't you shake hands with me?
I'll
Isn't
shake hands.
handshake a way of being friendly?
Yeah. Yeah.
Justice shall prevail. Whenever an ally deals critical damage, Tussilago restores % of attack HP. Whenever an ally uses skill or basic attack, Tussilago has a chance to inflict 1 stack of scared emblem.
So, okay. So she can gain health. Okay. And she, Sacred Emblem, that's going to be important.
To enemy with the lowest HP. Dispel the darkness. Basic attacks deal damage to the enemy with the lowest HP. If the target is
Okay, so we got another champion that cares about targeting heroes with the lowest HP.
scared emblem, deals additional damage. Basic attacks have chance to inflict 1 stack of scared emblem.
Scared Emblem.
Uphold the other. Enhance attack, crit, holy damage, control immunity and speed.
Wow. Gonna hit.
Punish the sinners. Select several random enemies and deals damage. This skill deals more
that's
damage
cool.
to enemies inflicted with scared emblem. If the target has at least 3
Let's
stacks,
see.
punish the sinners.
So,
Select several random enemies and deals
how much damage does
damage.
this
This
do?
skill deals
That did
more
about a
damage
third.
to enemies inflicted with scared emblem. If the target has at least
So, like,
3
4
stacks
tenths
of scared
there.
emblem, this skill deals additional damage.
And then that's
If
like
the
half
target has
damage.
5 stacks of scared emblem,
What's it gonna do?
removes all the scared emblem stacks
Whoa,
and inflicts divine
100%
retribution.
damage to a
As an
puppet.
explosive assassin, Tussilago can use his ally's active
His?
skills or normal attacks.
His? That's gotta be a mistake, right? His?
Active skills or normal attacks stacking markers to hit multiple bursts of high explosive damage. The damage caused by divine punishment can ignore all damage reduction attributes and skill effects.
Whoa. Can ignore all damage reduction and skill effects.
Meanwhile, the block recovery effect brought by the
HP.
damage creative ally heroes to Tussilago
Wow.
also guarantees their survivability
This dialogue is
to a
killing me.
certain extent. That's all for today.
To a certain
Please
extent.
extent.
It's not guaranteed. You're not going to guarantee me that she'll survive. I'm kind of worried.
That's all for today. Please keep following us.
Oh, that has to be a bot doing the text, right? Does she ever take damage? I kind of want to see how big this heal is.
Reduction
No, she
attributes
doesn't.
and skill effects. Meanwhile, the block recovery effect brought by the damage creative ally heroes to Tussilago also guarantees her survivability to a certain extent.
I love that. Guarantees it to a certain extent. Does it guarantee it past round 1, DH Games? Can you guarantee me that? Okay, so let's go ahead and look at her actual skills. So in case you're not aware, Tussilago is actually a flower in Europe and Asia, so that's where the inspiration comes from. It's a yellow flower. But going into her skills, I think I want to start with Justice Shall Prevail. Whenever an ally deals critical damage, Tussilago restores HP. Whenever an ally uses a skill or basic attack, Tussilago has a chance to inflict 1 stack of Sacred Emblem to 2 enemies with the lowest HP. So we saw in the video, but Sacred Emblems are the way that you're going to be doing all that massive damage to heroes. It's the way that you're going to get the divine retribution, which we'll talk about in just a second. Something to be aware of is if you have multiple Tussilagos, they will share the sacred emblem stacks. So she's a hero that will definitely be better in multiples, but whether or not it's worth having 2 on your team when you can, have all these other powerful heroes, who knows? And Delacium's not going to be able to replicate those stacks, just so you're aware. Okay, moving on to our active skill. Punish the sinners. Select 2 random enemies, prioritizing those with the most stacks of Sacred Emblem, and deals damage. It deals more damage. It deals more damage. If the target has at least 3 stacks of Sacred Emblem, the skill deals more damage. If the target has 5 stacks of Sacred Emblem, it removes all the Sacred Emblem stacks and inflicts Divine Retribution. So Divine Retribution is the skill we saw in the video. It deals a lot of damage. It's the one that did it from 50% to 0% on the puppet, and it cannot be reduced or increased by skill effects, attributes, or other effects. So it is just like raw damage. That means like A and B is not going to block it, Crown's not going to block it, shields aren't going to block it, I don't think. It's just going to be doing damage. So will Unbending Will block it? Somebody that's smarter than me, please let me know. Or will this just pop straight through Unbending Will? If so, that could be huge. That could be huge, the ability to just blow that up. On to more of her passive skills. Uphold the Order. Her attack is increased, her crit is increased, her holy damage is increased, her control immunity is increased, and her speed is increased. So very fast, very attacky, very damagey, lots and lots of damage. And then final passive skill, Dispel the Darkness. Tussilago's basic attacks deal damage to the enemy with the lowest HP. If the target has Sacred Emblem, it deals additional damage. Basic attacks have a chance to inflict 1 stack of Sacred Emblems. So you'll be applying those Sacred Emblems with herself, as well as when your allies use skills or basic attacks. And then you'll be blowing them up with Divine Retribution. So what does this all mean for Tussilago? What are my thoughts? I'm going to say the very first thing that stood out to me is it's very weird to have a Chinese New Year's hero that's light and have just 0 utility whatsoever. Like, this champion does not offer CC in any way, nothing super special. She's just like pure raw damage. And so is there a place for pure raw damage like in the meta? And I don't know. It kind of depends on how tanky she can be with her passive skill of increasing HP. I'm very worried about her just dying very quickly. Similar problems to Russell, but Russell at least had Blinding Light and has that effect. But the ability to ignore like A and B and just do raw damage is pretty huge. So it's going to be very interesting to see where she ends up in PvP. It's going to be interesting to see if, you build multiples, if she's able to just delete the team in round 1 with like a bunch of Rogans, a Halora, and 2 of these champions. Like, can you just destroy everybody? Again, holy damage, attack, crit, and speed on her passives. So just super fast, super damage. There's a chance she's going to be good in PvE, especially if you don't have a Delacium army. It's possible she's better than a Thaqua. I mean, one of the things I'm struggling with right now is the Void Lord. The fact that she's got built-in control immunity could be helpful. The fact that you only have 6 rounds to do damage, maybe she actually puts out more damage than a Thaqua does on the Void Lord. Maybe some of the bosses in Realm's Gate, she could be useful there to just get a ton of damage out. So we'll see on that. And again, I don't want to build Delaciums anymore. I'm kind of done with that. He's a pretty useless champion other than some pretty useless modes right now. So potentially replacing a Thaqua with Tussilago could be helpful for PvE. And should you be building this champion, I would definitely recommend, waiting on this champion, waiting to watch a video if you can afford to wait. I'll definitely be doing a couple rounds. I may go all in on this champion just because I really need to spend my heroic scrolls. I really need the regression stones and everything. So I'll probably be going all in. Definitely, it's a 2-week event, so you definitely have time to wait around and see how much damage she actually does and how big that damage actually is. I know there are going to be videos that come out showing just how insane her damage is, but like, does she actually have a home on a team? So we'll see where she ends up. I'm very excited to pull her on Thursday. Hopefully you'll be joining me. Please consider subscribing, like I said, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.